Hey everyone, I wanted to prepare this little video to give you with my next report, only because it takes a long time to type out the text to explain what we're looking at here. As I'll say in the report, what this is looking at is a software package called Reality Capture, which is made by a software company which is called Capturing Reality. And that software company is Europe-based. They're quite expensive for an annual license. It's about $7,500. It's about $100 for 3 months, or $300 a year or thereabouts, I estimated, because it's in euros. But if you get that version, there's a lot of options it doesn't have, and there's no support whatsoever. So, somewhere between $300 and $7,500. Now, it sounds like, wow, that's cheaper than Agisoft in a way, but I sent an email around saying that the problem with it is that it uses video graphics cards. And video graphics cards are basically designed to do nothing but the very intense matrix algebra that's necessary for graphics processing. And it has, like hundreds of thousands of parallel calculations being processed per minuscule unit of time compared to a single central processing unit which does everything linearly, even if you have multiple cores. And they have their own RAM too, so it doesn't take away RAM from your own machine. But my laptop, for example, doesn't have NVIDIA graphics cards, and the software package really wasn't able to do very much at all. And it warned you as much. So when I got onto my desktop, I thought, okay, let's see what this thing can do, because it was pretty clear that it's a slick and fast program if you have access to those cards. So this is at the default settings using about 400 cards, what we got from the structure for motion. And I think you can see that it is incredibly very, very well detailed. And at the default settings, we are getting results that are much more detailed than we can get with Agisoft in a fraction of the time. And I'm talking about a serious fraction of the time. So this package here, for example, this image that this reconstruction you're looking at here from Structure for Motion took about 15 minutes. At a minimum, just for the sparse cloud in Agisoft, it could easily take something like an hour or so, and then to get a low resolution dense cloud, it could take 15 hours, and to get a high resolution dense card, it could take something like 60 to 90 hours before you got something that looked like this. Now the results were, there were some pros and cons about what we got from Agisoft as compared to this. This has its issues too. One thing that concerns me is that neither has been able to pick up the fact that there is a large plant in this plot, a large thin plant that's very tall. It tends to assume that what we're interested in is this vegetation down here. But I want you to see that this is, in fact, just the point cloud. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, here, let's take a look at this leaf here. This is a more recognizable leaf, and you can see that it's just a bunch of points, a lot of points. But I have not actually made the wireframe which would connect up these points and calculate the anything about the volume or the structure of this vegetation. So you can see that this is pretty amazing. To get results like this in 15 minutes as opposed to 90 hours is pretty impressive. It's not surprising given that they actually are using the graphics cards, and that's something we have to hope that Microsoft would have access to. But getting multiple licenses for this thing sounds like it's going to be very, very pricey. On the other hand, maybe a smaller number of licensors run multiple times with multiple runs is still going to be more effective than having multiple licenses for something that takes a tremendous amount of time to run. We won't know until we start playing with the Microsoft Cloud, but that's one of our future steps. For now, we're focusing on the field period, and then I'm getting some data. But I think you can see this is, I'm very excited about this. It seems to me that this is showing what it is I've been trying to do. And with this, I really do believe that we can go from plant traits to ecophysiological measures, scaling up from the individual species up to the plot. I'm interested in biodiversity, of course, to the tundra, and to really get a good feel for mechanistically how it is that plants do what they do in nature, and of course why we depend on them so heavily. So that's my little video, and I'll be sending you results from the model reconstruction of the vegetation once I see how long that takes. Take care, everyone.